All right, so I want to take some time here in the beginning just to put out disclaimers and what this video is and what it isn't. So I'm just a guy on the internet. I don't have time to like test these printers, all the thousands, hundreds of hours that other YouTubers do. I bought this with my own money, so it's not sponsored at all. This is just my experience the first few days with the printer and just what did and didn't work. And yeah, just enjoy it for what it is. Don't expect anything special. I don't have a ton of time on my hands. I'm working. I'm filming this late at night. You'll see a bunch of night footage on here. So it is what it is, and this is just what I've been dealing with as a normal person in the 3D printing world. So hopefully you get something out of it. All right, this thing's going nowhere. This thing's massive. Oh my gosh, it weighs like 100 pounds. I'm gonna see if I can get it up the stairs. There's only 1, 2, 3 steps right here, so uh, yeah, I'm just gonna put it under some coverage, some shade right here, so then hopefully the elements don't get it. So I'm gonna try and lift it. Oh, let's see, do I try it with wheels? Two-person job. This is so big and awkward. Nah, I'm gonna drop it. Oh, put it down. Alright, right there. There's one handle. See, like my arms do not reach, literally, I'm too short. So I gotta go do something like this. Alright, that's one step. Alright, that's 2 steps. One more. Gonna do one more. It's awkward. Alright, one more. And okay, I got it up. Okay, so these are the steps that went up. So just 1, 2, 3 right here. So about a 3-foot rise. And here it is. Here's this thing. Alright, so when you guys are moving this around and dragging it around, just be careful because that's what the bottom of the printer looks like. And obviously there's a few places where it could get like caught up, like right here. There's this metal part right here. These foot little things, I don't know, it looks like it's a little rubbed off right here. But I was like dragging this around as it was like pretty heavy, it's feels like 100 pounds. But obviously you can see the motors right there and some wires that are somewhat exposed, so just gotta be careful when moving this around, just dragging it on floors. And you see like this wooden deck right here. And there's like, well, it could get caught up on that. Alright, so I got the printer in the cabinet right here. It was a pain in the butt. So you can see the Centauri carbon down there. That's where I had it. This is outdoors, so I can print like ABS and stuff. So it was a bit of a tight fit. There's a Polymaker dry box, because this is outdoors, so it does get humidity in the night. But so this was a pain in the butt to get up here, because it definitely did not recommend doing it solo. I did it solo, so what I ended up doing is getting some ratchet straps and tying it around the bottom of the printer, and then hooking it up to my neck and my shoulders, and just ratcheting it up to my chest like that, because my arms aren't long enough to get onto the handles down there. So the other thing is this cabinet is, the printer's too wide this way, and it'll stick out even more. So I put it in sideways, so this is enough for the door to open and hopefully get any prints out. But it has to be in there sideways. But unfortunately, the power outlet, the power switch is on the side compared to everything else. I don't know, the poop chute's back there. It's a little dark to see it. So if I close this, hopefully this is enough of a gap. I don't know, can see it too well right there, but there's a little bit of a gap, and I'll thread the power cable down there to plug it in. Unfortunately, it looks like there's
probably not enough room up at the top of this for the Qidi box. So hopefully I'll just put it down there where that is, and then I'll thread it up that hole back there up to there. So so yeah, that's the it's in the cabinet. All right, so you can see that I removed that shelf that was in the middle right there. So now I have room for the Qidi box up top. So now it's right here. And then I'm gonna have to like slide this left and right just to give that a little more space. If I close this up, you can see right there. A bit of focus. You can see right there. It has that much room to bend, so it's not too bad right there. But I did have to put the Qidi box up top because if you see the PTFE tubes, I mean, they can reach from the side over here. It's about, what, 80 millimeters or something it said. So this is what the back looks like. There's the poop chute right here. I had the hardest time putting that thing in right here, a little hub, because it like wouldn't catch. It was weird. Alright, so it says the printer is ready. So the update, or the calibration, I mean, that took about, I don't know, 20 minutes. I wasn't really counting. I went inside, got tired. But yeah, it said the printer's ready, so I'm gonna start printing something. Okay, so I wanted to go over what's going on in Orca Slicer because it's pretty interesting. It took me a few minutes to figure it out, but I am in this version right here, 2.3.2 beta build, CD5, C8, F2A, and then download this from their GitHub. If you go here, go up to this menu right here, go to help, and then check for updates, and it popped up right here to go download it. So I just downloaded that one. So I'm on the newest version. So I added the printer right here. It's called the X-Max 4, which it's fine, I guess. It is the printer. And then I added a filament. I did have to add like ABS separately, so you just add remove filament right here. It's pretty straightforward. But to connect it to the internet, so this is what I did. I followed the kind of the Qidi wiki, but they're using Qidi Studio, and this is Orca Slicer. So what you do is you click there, connection right here, and then this pops up, and I just renamed it as that XMax4. Host type, I don't know if it matters actually. I mean, because none of these are Qidi, so I just left it as Octo Clipper, and then printer agent left it as Orca, and then the IP. So this is what it was. I don't think it matters if I leak it, but this is what the IP is, and I got this from the printer itself. I just go in the settings and know like this. That's the IP once it connected to the internet. And you do have to add this suffix right here, that :10088. That's what the wiki says, because this is Orca Slicer and not Qidi Slicer. And so then if I hit test, it connects. And then I left everything else blank. Click OK. And then I was surprised because then you go to device, and boom, it's all here. Here's my, here's the printer. Which it was fascinating. It's ready to print, I guess. And then like you can do all this. So it's pretty neat. So I'm gonna see what's up here. Yeah, see temperature went up right here. I have the 3 filaments loaded. I did code them as ABS Rapido because it didn't have any generic ABS. So we'll see if this works well. So, but it's pretty cool. Like you can see, look at all this. So I'm gonna print a benchy first thing because there weren't any presets on the printer for ABS, at least. Well, I only checked one. I only checked the benchy, but it was for PLA only, so it wouldn't print. So I'm gonna print the benchy here and then see how it goes. Okay, so the print failed before it even started. It says valid slot 1 is not valid for slot. Okay, so I went ahead and downloaded Qidi Studio. Well, I installed it from the flash drive that came with, but then I updated it to the most recent version. which is about, well, it's 2.04, but I didn't update it to that one after I updated it already. So anyways, so to use the Qidi box, I found out you have to click sync info, which this button is not in Orca Slicer, so I have to look for it. And then that'll enable you to use the box so you can see my filaments here. The fourth one's empty. And then I was able to slice it, and now it's printing, and well, it's got the message. So let's see if it doesn't fail like the other one. All right, so it looks like the print has begun. It took, yeah, just about 7 minutes for the chamber to get up to temperature. You can see it's 54.4 right here out of 55. So that's not bad. And yeah, so you can see the time going down. It thought it was never gonna finish the print because the chamber was was just heating up. Well, it looks like it's printing. I'll go check on it outside in, I guess, what, 40 minutes. All right, so it looks like the model's finished in about 38 minutes. About 7 of that was heating up the chamber. All right, here we are at the printer. I am not going to let the thing cool. We're just gonna try and pull it off. Let's see if we can get a good angle right there of the print. Alright, so let's try and just yank it off. Oof, that's welded to the plate. Alright, we're gonna have to use a scraper. Alright, so there's the little benchy. It's pretty small. I mean, look, I can hold it in my hand right here. Let's get some better lighting on it. There we go. So yeah, looking, I mean, it printed alright. There we go. Alright, there's the model. Alright, so I'm not quite sure how this worked, but I got it going through Orca Slicer. And so I'll click through here a little bit and just show you a little bit what I did. So yeah, it looks like it's printing here. So I added some custom G code that I've found on a Reddit thread on how to connect to use the Qidi box on Orca Slicer. So I'll link it in the description. But yeah, basically that's what I did. I made a profile, added some custom G code that this guy figured out, and I'm just gonna go ahead and start printing this. So yeah, that's the goal. I'm gonna do a whole two-day print. That's what the slice said that it would take. I go to preview. Yeah, right here, 2 days, 6 hours. It did take 20 minutes to prepare because it did the bed leveling. With the custom G code though, like I guess what you have to do when you prepare, you have to right click this. Let me remove the adaptive layer. It didn't work with tree supports. You just have to choose whichever one you want. But yeah, you just add the filaments for the slots 1, 2, 3, 4 for the Qidi box, and 5 is the external spool. And you just choose that right here. So this works for single color. I think I read that it might work for multicolor too, like if it's assigned properly, like to the proper slots. So yeah, check out that comment, and we'll check back. I mean, yeah, I'll give it overnight, see how it looks overnight, and then we'll see in 2 days. Okay, so we have our first failure. Looks like the printer is shut down because it keeps telling me there's no response from the stepper X or Y. Alright, here's a better view of what got done. 16 layers. Yeah, I clicked firmware restart, so I just have to restart the print. Okay, so I'm having the hardest time scraping all that filament off, because I don't know, it's like stuck too well to the bed, I put it in the freezer, nothing came off. I took the plate off, I flexed it and everything, and nothing. So now I'm heating the bed up to 100 degrees Celsius, and well, hopefully it can just melt off and I can just peel it off. But look at that. I even tried a razor blade. I guess you're supposed to use glue for this. That's why the glue stick came in. But to take this off, I think I'm going to move the Qidi box down there and just take the lid completely off and be able to access prints that way. Alright, look, that worked actually. I'm going to try it like this. Also, I think a problem might have been with the software. Because if you notice, this filament ran out. Oh, wait. Why can't I lift it? Alright. Anyways, that filament ran out. So it might have been like, oh no, what do I do? Yeah, although I did load that one, so I'm not sure. But, anyways, I'm going to leave the box here and see, hopefully that works. Alright, getting the bed to 100 degrees Celsius worked really well. You can see all the stuff just came right off. It took me like 5 minutes to take it all off. So just with the metal scraper. Yeah, I just gotta hope yeah, I didn't scratch the bed too much, but yeah, highly recommend using glue if it's the first time. But if they stay stuck, you know, just heat up the bed. Alright, so we are 2 days later checking on this print, see if it succeeded. And no, what's going on? Did I run out of filament? I did. Alright, so looks like there's a problem in that. The whole Qidi box. Sheesh. So it looks like it stopped right there. Oh no, I can't see anything, but yeah, this lighting is horrible. Anyways, so you can't see it because it's too dark, but the print ran out of filament and it didn't refill the next box or from the next slot in the box. So let's see if is this a salvageable right here. Okay, so I couldn't find any way to restart it. So this is where it failed, which is unfortunate because it was 82% done. So yeah, I'm gonna dig through here, but I don't think this is salvageable. We got half a helmet. I'll have to see in the software if I can print it another way, but looks like we're cooked here. Yeah, I'll pull this out. But I don't think I had to restart the printer because it messing with the screen didn't do anything. I clicked start, nope. So what was interesting is I couldn't get this off the bed. Like I pulled the helmet and then brought the whole plate with it. So I'm heating it back up to 100 right now. Heating up the bed to 100 and then hopefully I can just peel it off like I cleaned it up last time. Because this is way too stuck. Way too stuck. So I'll take a moment here while it's heating up to give my recommendations. Because yeah, this failed. They used almost a whole kilogram of filament and I was not able to finish the print. And I blame the Qidi box right here. See it blinking right there. It was not, it like overloaded the firmware and was not able to try to finish the job with the new spool of filament. And this is how it failed last time too, so I'm going to blame the Qidi box for this. So I'm going to have like a 3 kilogram spool to be able to do big projects like this. But for now, I would not recommend the Qidi box at all for this because I just lost a kilogram basically of filament. I'm going to try and salvage it by printing the top half separately. I gotta just remember what layer we were. We're 83% done. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna say about this. Alright, so we have me here with my final thoughts, at least my final initial thoughts. So this is what the print looks like. Ended up running out of filament and failing. So overall, like I did some quick cleanup of the supports. Look, see here's this support just hanging out in there. So it requires some more detail, but overall, I mean, you know, the lighting's a little weird in here, but it fits my head. Oh, well, maybe without my glasses on. Let me take off my glasses. Um, there we go. So you can see me through here. So it's pretty legit. Uh, and it almost came out in one piece. So my final thoughts. Put these back on. So the printer is legit. Like it works. This is a 0.4. This was a 2-day print. Failed 83% of the way through. It's the Qidi box, I think that's the problem. I'm gonna give that a thumbs down because both prints that failed were because of the Qidi box because it runs out of filament and doesn't know how to switch to the new filament. The other ones that's loaded in the box. So I'm like, all right, I don't know. So I'm gonna maybe send an email over to and Qidi, see what did I do wrong? If you guys have any comments, you know, of what I did wrong, because it was I have it right here, the code. If I can find my mouse, there it is. So the code was MCU like power failure right here. MCU shutdown, Q overflow. So and that's the same error I got the other time too. And it's just really when it runs out of filament, when it has to switch over to the other filament. So I don't know what's going on. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna try and salvage this. I couldn't quite catch the layer line, but it was 83% of the way through, so I'll figure it out and I'll try and glue the top of this on here with some other filament. So yeah, I mean, I was gonna skip the Qidi box too. I was gonna be like, I don't need the combo, and you don't need the combo unless you're doing multicolor. Like I'm just gonna have a dry box. Yeah, I'm gonna use it for maybe filament drying. I think it'll be good for that. But until they figured out the firmware, I'm gonna skip it for now. I'm gonna get a 3 kilogram thing of filament and just run. If I'm gonna do a big print like this, all right. So if I run out of filament, at least I'll be there like to reload it, hopefully. But yeah, unfortunately this one not quite finished up. Although it's looking cool. Look at this, man. Look at this. It was looking cool. So just the top of my head. Alright, so thanks for watching. Be sure to comment and let me know what I did wrong. And hopefully this helps you out. Printer, I think is gonna be a thumbs up once they figure it out. The Qidi box right now, I don't know. And then I didn't even try the polar cooler, which I got. I'm not even gonna touch that. I don't think it's worth it. But it came for free with the pre-order, so. Alright, so yeah, now when I have time, I'll give you guys an update, see what else is going on. But for now, this is my video. Thanks for watching. Goodbye. Good night.